Yo. Welcome to day 132 of 200 Days of Code with Leon Andersen. Another virtual episode. Today we're going to talk about event loops. But for that, we need a special guest. And this special guest is again joining us virtually. So give it up for virtual Leon Andersen.
Hello everyone, I'm doing maybe a bit better. Today I started watching a video on JavaScript event loops and the call stack. I only got halfway through it so far though. And I also watched the stream of yesterday where Aleph explained the quack and the fly and all that classy stuff. And I probably didn't understand most of it, but I guess the main point is that with inheritance that you usually have with classes, which I just had once in the whole course that I did, so I'm not used to them at all, that with that inheritance you basically have multiple properties of your objects, your elements in the code, your building blocks entangled with each other. And with mix-ins, I think that's the name, using the dot assign and empty arrays, empty objects, and kind of combining them and then piping them, like stuff that I've never seen before, but like ways in which you can basically reuse, maybe one could say, building blocks from before in the code without affecting the child, parent, and sibling elements necessarily of that stuff that you're reusing. And yeah, it's kind of a decoupling of properties, maybe one could say that, which has to do something with immutability, basically always making I think new copies of state instead of sharing state, something like that. So you can work way more fine-grained modular, but yeah, stuff like that. And I have zero context on where this is used because all I was hearing was quack and fly, which might be helpful, but to me, I guess, yeah, things click more when they are in like actual context, and then maybe afterwards I get like the deeper underlying principles explained, so then I can put it into the context of the real examples. Maybe that's the order that I need. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's it for today. Was interesting for sure, but no epiphanies for me because it's just like too abstract, too fast, too deep, too fast, I guess. But it was definitely fun to watch for sure, with all that high quality quacking and air horning. It was just a beautiful symphony. And yeah, thank you, and until tomorrow, always be quacking and air horning and always be ducking.
Yes. I think one thing that we can do today, let me quickly show this to everyone, is to understand what object.assign even does, right? So similar to how we have the general promise object, right, that you might be using if you create a promise, like, new promise, old promise, just a new promise, something, right? there's also globally available the object. And the global object has a method called assign. So something that we can look at is how you might be used to create new objects, right? You would be creating a new object by doing this const, let's say const person is equal to name, and it has a name. And we first, I guess, and then there's a age, which is 42. And then we have a second person, maybe, or maybe we have the home, right? And the address is December quack, like this. And when you want to create a new object, the combination of the two, like person with address, you could do it like this. Dot person, we spread in the person, and we spread in the home. Right? And if we log this out, this address, we get in January 1st, age 42, address December quack, right? But there is a second way to create this. We can say person with address 2 equals to object dot assign. And if we want to create a new object, we need to put an empty object in here. And then we can say person and home. And let's log this out too. Console.log person. Let me copy this quick. This, oops, this and this. Right, and gives us the same. We have the same new object. And these are different objects. But if we want to modify this person, then we can leave out this empty object. So let me show that to you. Here, person, if we log it out here, it's this. January 1st, age 42. And if we log out the home, this address December quack. If we create a third person here, first with address 3, and we say object sign person home, we log out this third person console.log person with address 3 like this. We still get the same object, right? But here we didn't create a new object. We put the person as the first object. So when we log out the person here, person console.log this. Now the person also has their address because here we mutated that first person. And if we don't want to mutate that first person, what we do here and here, let me make this a little bit more spacey, like this. So this is easier to see. And we can also add a space here. So if we put in the person first, then this object gets mutated. Here. If we log out the person here, after we created person with address using this method, not only did we create a new object here, person with address, but we also changed person here. So this is basically the same as saying person equals to person and home. Wait, let me. How can we do? Oh yeah, this would be like I have like this person person dot address is equals to home dot address. That's if I comment these out and log out the person here again, then also the person object has the address. So this thing, putting the person, the first thing that we put into object to assign gets mutated. So in order to not mutate anything, we need to put the empty object as the first argument. And that way, person does not get mutated. I can show you this here. Console.log person. After this step, the person is still the same. Okay, so let's walk through it slowly. We create a new object, person. It is here. Then we create a new object, home. It is here. Then we create a person with an address using the spread syntax, which always also creates a new object because we're creating a new object here and we're spreading in the properties. But this is a new object, right? So the person is still the same. Console.log person still the same. Let me scroll down here. Person is still the same, right? So person, home, person with address using the spread syntax does not change the person. Then the person with address using the object assign method, where we create a new object, the person is still the same. But if we assign stuff to the person, the stuff that is in the home object, then even though we're creating an object here, this person with address, this syntax right here is mutating the person so that if we log out the person after this, let me reload this. Come on, why is it not printing now? And let me reload this. Yeah. Now the person is mutated here, right? This is the person log after the person with address. So what we need to take away here is if you want to assign properties and create a new object, you can either do it this way or you can do it this way. If you want to change properties on an object, you can use the object.assign method like this. And optionally, you can capture that result here in a variable, but it's still mutating the person. I hope this clarifies a little bit on object.assign. And as always, keep coding a little bit every day so that your brain gets better and better with coding. Leon Andersen will join us again live in a few days. And tune in tomorrow for more knowledge. Maybe we will share more knowledge on whatever Leon learns tomorrow. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been day 132 of 200 Days of Code with the best mentee that are you, the viewer, and another best mentee, Leon Andersen, and me, Aleph Lil from the 10x dev team. See you tomorrow. Always be quacking.